Hello. Welcome to tonight's mini healing, Monday night, Labor Day in the US, for those of you who are here in the US. So, a pretty low key kind of day for most people. So, I'm glad to see you, glad to see everyone here. Some of my regulars, maybe one or two names that I haven't seen in a while, but it's all good, right? So in about 5 minutes, we will start with our first healing pulse. And then we will start with individual healings where you let me know what's going on with you. If you have some physical issue or some emotional issue, let me know and we'll see if there is something I could do to help. So a lot of the work I do is using something called trapped emotions and releasing that trapped emotion. I even did finally bring in my book. So this is called the emotion code. So if you like this part of the night where I release trapped emotions and you're curious about healing, this is a pretty decent book. This is the older version. And I have the newer version, but there's a lot of the same in here. I'm certified in this. Not that that really makes a big difference. But what I do is when I learn a tool or modality, oftentimes I take the parts I really like and tweak them into something that's more usable for me. So in this book, there is a chart of like 60 trapped emotions, but sometimes I use different charts or even switch it up and work on beliefs. So we'll just see how the night goes. Just making sure I didn't. Oh, Deborah's from Tennessee, so welcome. All right, harmonious. Okay, so let me just make sure I didn't. So here's my little book that I keep track of all my sessions for the mini healings. So last month, August 1st, was session 179. So today is 180. Seems like we were just here on August 1st, but okay. So I'm going to go back through and just make sure I didn't miss anybody. So just so you know, sometimes I do miss people. The feed goes through faster than I could write, or sometimes things jump a bit. So if I do miss you, don't take it personally, but please put something in the comments that I missed you and tell me what you want to work on. So I'm just going through. So Harmonious is still looking for a new job. I know it's been a while, Harmonious. I'm really hoping things change for you. Okay. Nancy. So tight fascia. All right. All right. So serene. Hypo. Thyroidism. Okay, so Valerie's having trouble with her right ankle. And so in just a moment, we're going to start with the healing pulse. So So Valerie, Serene, and Nancy, I want you to use the healing pulse with your issues. Nancy, I want you to target wherever you have that tightness and imagine it extending. Serene, I want you to focus on your thyroid. Valerie, your right ankle. Harmonious, this job, this idea of a new job that's going to be amazing for you. Where does that dream live? Where do you feel the hope of getting this fabulous job? And wherever that lives, I want you to focus on that. So NA Tarot. So NA Tarot, I'm curious about the NA. Does that stand for something, or is it like, because NA can stand for not a lot of things, like, not applicable, non-alcoholic, or is that like your initials? But gestational, diabetes. All right, Deborah. So I write down Deborah, and then I'm going to stop for a bit. So Deborah's got 2 Hashimoto's, thyroiditis, and mold. Not good. Okay. So we are going to start with our first healing pulse. Generally, we do 3 of them. If you are new, if you are comfortable, feel free to put what you need some help with in the comments. If you just want to hang out and use the healing pulses, that's fine too. So with the healing pulses, they work fairly well on physical things, but also emotional things. Like even traditional medicine, not everything helps everyone. It's my goal to help everyone, but that's typically not up to me. So the most important part of doing alternative type of healings is just be open. Anything that we do tonight works very well with traditional medicine. And so what I want you to do is I want you to rub your hands together, get that energy flowing, because this will combine my healing energies plus yours. And then place your hands exactly where you want to receive the healing. Imagine my hands are on yours. And again, the most important part is you just allowing the energy to flow. So I'm starting to send energy. So sometimes it takes a while, but tonight my hands are sort of tingly. So that's good energy flowing. Some people feel warm, some people feel cold. Sometimes when we're pushing through a block, sometimes there is a little bit of pain, but just allow it to release. And so just imagine taking a deep breath, and the deeper you breathe, the deeper the healing. And when you exhale, imagine that you're releasing. Maybe it's something you're done with. Maybe it's something that's not even yours. But you're going to, by releasing, you're also going to create space for the healing energy to go. So just breathe that in. Okay, so the healing pulses are pretty short, so you usually know right away if it's helpful. Although I would suggest, even if you don't notice it helping, it's one of those fake it till you make it. And getting used to the energy sometimes helps you allow the energy to flow and so you can feel it more. So I know when I first started doing energy work, it was rare for me to feel any of it. So, and now that's changed quite a bit. Although, like everyone, I have off days where I don't always feel it, but some days. Okay, so there's next to my list, I've got Colette. She's looking for financial stability. It's a good one. Okay, so I'm going to continue on with the list and then we'll go back and get started. Deborah's also. So I'm going to add that to Deborah's and we'll see what comes up as the most important one for you, Deborah. Stability. Mary's got pain in feet and legs. Right. Thank you for that response, NA Tarot. Always curious about things that aren't quite obvious. All right, so Amanda wants to work on removing blocks. We'll see. So when we get back to you, Amanda, I'm going to ask, is that too generic or do we need to be more specific? So we'll see what happens. I like it when we can just fix a whole bunch of things, but we'll see. We need to be more specific. All right. You are very welcome, NA Tarot. Thank you for that update. Yeah, everyone's a little different in how they feel things, but several of you have posted. So Deborah felt warmness. NA Tarot felt it specifically in her left ovary. Valerie felt it in her ankle. So here's the good and the bad about the healing pulse. Sometimes it can really help for immediate relief, but unless you can also get to the root cause, sometimes it'll come back. So, but especially if you're looking for immediate relief, it's fabulous. So let's get started. So I'm going to say like that. Let me see how many I've got on my list. I've got like 9 people. And as others wander in, if you want to post something to work on. So Harmonious, Nancy, and Serene are my first 3. And so Harmonious wants to work on a new job with financial stability. So let's see. I'm going to use my big list. It's got like 400 energies and emotions and things like that. So sometimes it's rather revealing what comes up. So let's see what comes up for Harmonious. So I'm getting the energy of undisciplined. Let me get an age. This is from when you were around 16. Now, ages are the hardest thing, but usually I'm right about a year. Welcome, Marina. And so when I give the age of 16, it's probably 15, 16, 17. And so something happened, and usually this is your individual trapped emotions, but sometimes when you're close to someone else, super close, and something happens, you can also get their trapped emotions too. But with this harmonious, I'm getting it's yours. So I'm wondering if having this from such a young age contributes to you being more undisciplined as you've gotten older. Because a lot of times you'll attract other instances of being undisciplined. So we're going to go ahead and release and remove this. And as I always ask, if you have healing in your background and know how to release, please do that. If you don't, please lend support by saying a prayer, um, or just allowing the healing to happen. So I'm going to tune in. We're going to release and remove undiscipline. Okay, I'm showing that released. So Nancy is next, and she's got tight fascia. Fascia. So sometimes when I watch things on YouTube and they're from different countries, they have different ways of saying things. So sometimes it sort of messes me up a bit. You are very welcome, Harmonious. So let's see what comes up for Nancy. All right, Nancy, the energy of phobic comes up. Let me get an age. Getting around age 8. So you were just little. So like 7, 8, 9. So when I think of phobic, I think of fear. So I'm wondering, did something happen when you were just little that was pretty scary? And maybe the adults didn't think it was scary, but an 8-year-old kid, sometimes there's a lot of things that are scary. So let's go ahead and look and release phobic for Nancy. And I'm going to add Marina. Marina's looking for what's going to ask, or whatever's going to help her the most. All right, so releasing and removing phobic from Nancy. So when I release, I also ask that any voids that we created are filled with healing energy. All right, so that released. So next we've got Serene, and then Valerie and N.A. Tarot. All right, so let's see what Serene gets. Serene wants to work on hypothyroidism. So I'm getting derided around age 21. And when I think of the meaning of derided, I think of so I'm looking it up to see if it matches what. So to laugh at with contempt, to laugh at with scorn, to turn to ridicule or make sport of, to mock. So not very nice. So I don't know if there was an instance, Serene, where you felt derided when you're around 20, 21, 22. And especially at that age, sometimes people aren't very grown up and they're they're mean. So let's go ahead and release that energy. Releasing and removing derided from Serene. So that did release. All right, so Valerie sort of twisted or turned her right ankle, and now she's got some pain, not necessarily walking, but more sitting kind of thing. Let's see what comes up for her. Oh, Serene, I'm very sorry. I'm hoping this helps take the sting away from that in your heart. All right, Valerie, I get the energy of turned off. Let me get an age for that. Getting like around 36, Valerie, so 35, 36, 37. Turned off. So I don't know if that's more of a, you know how you meet someone new and you don't like them that much, you're sort of turned off by them. I don't know if there's another way of interpreting the words turned off. What do you guys think? So if you've got the trapped emotion of turned off. Although Valerie's really good at matching up instances in her life that have caused this. So we'll see what she comes up with. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and release turned off for Valerie. So releasing and removing turned off. I get a yes to that, Valerie. So whatever was said, you were not very happy with them. Or was it a situation where, so were you turned off to the coworker, or were you turned off to a situation the coworker told you about? So I'm going to release and remove all of that. All right, so next on the list, I've got N.A. Tarot, and then Deborah, and then Colette. So N.A. Tarot, gestational diabetes. Let's see. So with this, I'm getting mixed up. Let me get an age. So I'm showing this contributes, but it's not the only reason. And oftentimes, especially with emotional things, they happen in layers. So I'm getting this is mixed up around 23. So 22, 23, 24. Okay, so Valerie's actually, hold on here. So I've got this. So I'm paying for this service that is supposed to share chats to everyone because right now Facebook can only see Facebook and YouTube can only see YouTube. Let's see if that worked. There we go. So there's Valerie. Haha. Ex-supervisor attitude that I couldn't afford buying rentals. We're both the same rank. He had a stay-at-home wife and 3 teens. So that makes sense, Valerie, that his judgmental attitude, and you work the same place, you're not in the same situation. So good job figuring that out. All right, so let's see. Okay, so NA Tarot. I'm getting it has something to do with that. So I don't know if there was something hurtful that went on. That was there some type of mix-up or something emotional too during that time? And especially at that time, your first child and hormones are raging. Oh, I'm sorry, NA Tarot. I mean, the good thing is we've released it. So that's a piece of what's going on. So continue to think about other things. Oh, that's the worst. Cheating too. Well, good. I'm hoping that helps you feel better. And deep down, I'm hoping that it helps the gestational diabetes. So, but keep working on healing, because for most of us, the older that we get, the more layers of trapped emotions we have. All right, so Deborah is next. So Deborah's got a few things on her list. So we're going to see what's most important for her to work on tonight. Okay. Check and see. Oh, we've got two Nancys tonight. That's sort of cool. So Nancy Dilber, I will add you to the list. All right, so let's see what we're going to do with Deborah, because she wants to work on Hashimoto's thyroiditis. Then she's got mold. Oh, but she also added financial stability, and I get that is the one we're going to focus on, Deborah. So let's see what comes up. You are very welcome, Deborah. Ooh, it's the energy of infuriated. Let me get you an age, and we'll see if you can connect it to something that's affecting your finances. Getting her like 26, so somewhere 25, 26, 27. Does that ring a bell with someone or something infuriating you, Deborah? So let's go ahead and release that, because especially, things like anger and being infuriated, it's for your best self to release that energy. Sort of similar to, forgiveness. It's probably most important for you to release it to help you and your emotional and physical bodies. So we're going to release and remove infuriated. And if you're a healer, help me release. If you're not a healer, send me happy thoughts about releasing it or say a prayer. So releasing and removing infuriated. All right. All right, so next I've got Colette, Mary, and Amanda. And I've just added Nancy Dilber. And then I'm going to add Carolina. So Deborah says she's trying to remember. And sometimes you will be able to do it. Or I have a client that when she stands at the kitchen sink and does dishes, it pops in what it was. But for the most part, if you don't remember, it's still okay. All right, so Caroline, I'm writing yours down, and the end we'll pick one of what's going to help the most. Okay. All right, so Colette's also looking for financial stability. Let's see what comes up for her. Demoralized. And we're going to do our next healing pulse in just a moment. Let me get an age for Colette. So demoralized Colette, and I'm getting around 22. So 21, 22, 23, something demoralized. And usually that's a pretty strong word. So I'm thinking you probably will know what this is. So let's go ahead and release the energy of this. So releasing and removing demoralized from Colette. Okay, giving that did release. So we're going to do our next healing pulse. But on deck, we've got Mary, Amanda, Marina, Nancy Dilbor, and Carolina. So let's do our second healing pulse. So with this, I want you to rub your hands together and place your hands exactly where you want to receive the healing. If it's something emotional, think about where you feel it. Or if you're anxious, where do you feel that anxiety? For me, it's usually in the pit of my stomach, but sometimes my chest gets tight. Sometimes I have a harder time speaking my truth. So wherever you want to send the energy, that's where I want you to place your hands. And then imagine my hands are on yours and just allow that energy to flow. With each breath in, imagine the healing's going a little deeper, a little further. With each breath out, you are releasing. So just breathe in that healing and breathe out. Just allow it to change. Okay, so that was healing pulse number 2. Let me know how you did. Most people feel the most on healing pulse 2 or 3. All right, so next we're going to work with Mary. She's got problems with her feet and legs. I'm going to just double check and make sure. Are we going to focus on both? Or are we better focusing on one? We can focus on both. So let's see what comes up. It's one of my words that I I think it just sort of a weird little word. It's puny. That's what came up for you, Mary. Puny. So let me get an age and see if you can figure out what that is related to. Given you were like 19. So 18, 19, 20. So, Mary, were you teased or something because you were puny? Or was there someone around you that got teased? So let's go ahead and release and remove the energy of puny from Mary. That did release. And it looks like a few of you enjoyed that last healing pulse. Harmonious said it felt nice. Deborah said very nice. Valerie said it felt warm and tingly. I'm hoping it helps that ankle, Valerie. All right, so next we've got Amanda. Amanda asked if we could remove some blocks. And so my question is that too generic? Because sometimes you need to focus to get more to the heart of the matter. And so let me just see. And I'm not getting it too generic. So let's see if there's a negative emotion that's contributing to that. You are very welcome, Colette. I hope it does help you. All right. Okay, Amanda, I've got the word opinionated. And you had asked me about releasing blocks. So my question to you is this you? Are you too opinionated that it's causing some hardship? Or is there someone around you that's opinions are affecting you? Let me get an age, and I think that'll help you. Well, Nancy, thank you. That was very wonderful. All right, so I need an age for Amanda. So I'm getting around age 31, Amanda. So somewhere 30, 31, 32. So let's go ahead and release the blocks. Let me see how many there are. So I'm getting there's 2. The good and the bad about trapped emotions is sometimes they're pretty easy to release, but other times they're hidden or secret. So until you either ask the right question or do it in the right time, sometimes it doesn't always come up. But there are at least 2 that we can release. So, and then also trapped emotions often get trapped in layers, and layers are not sequential, it's random. And so sometimes when we release, things change a lot. But stress or other things can trigger the next layer to appear. And I find that very frustrating. But I've seen it enough to know that stress can really cause a lot of havoc in this. So Mary's asking about puny. She has no idea how puny would fit. I know, it's such a weird little word, isn't it? And so when that happens, I think we almost have to trust that it's some sort of thing that Maybe when you were 19, you would remember, but maybe now you don't. And that's okay. So just put it at the back of your mind and see if it comes to you. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. All right, so Amanda, we're going to release and remove the energy of opinionated. So releasing and removing. That would do it. So how old are you, Amanda? So I'm getting the two main ones released. I sort of wonder if you're not really an opinionated person. Excuse me. I think from this time period, there was someone around you who was, and their energy sort of, you absorbed it, absorbed the trapped emotion. So this would have been like 8 years ago or so. So think about where you worked, your friend circle, relationships, family. Was there someone, 8 years ago that was pretty opinionated that sort of affected you? All right. So I've got Marina, Nancy Dilbor, or Dilber, and Carolina is next. And then we'll do something else. We'll see what comes up. All right, so Marina wants whatever's going to help her the most. So let's see. So this is the word undesirable. And so this could cover a number of things. So undesirable, where you felt undesirable physically, or there was something in your life that was undesirable, or see, it's not just physical. It's attracting something that you don't necessarily want, you don't desire. So it could be, friends, job, finances. It can be taken a few different ways. So this is around 24. So 23, 24, 25, something in there. Something where, so there's two ways of thinking. Something where you didn't want that, you didn't desire that, or possibly something about you that someone else didn't want that. So I think the thing is, we're just going to release it. And so just focus on it, letting go, Marina. So releasing and removing that energy. Because we've all experienced this in some way, most likely multiple times. I know I have. It is one of those emotions that can really crush you. So we're going to just release that. Oh, let's see if that's it. I get yes for that. And I remember that because they really gave you some undesired consequences. So I'm glad we've released that, because that energy tends to push things away that you want. Yeah, the side effects from that are terrible. Good for thinking that. All right, so next, Nancy Dilber. Nancy wants to heal her sore head. That doesn't sound very, it sounds painful. So let's see. Yes, it was scary, Marina. You are very welcome. All right, so Nancy, I'm getting this is the energy of being naive. And you were young. You were like 14. So somewhere like 13, 14, 15. You, yeah, because I'm getting that this is you. You felt the energy of being naive. So I don't know if you were taken advantage of or if you were teased. But somehow that energy is sort of stuck around. So let's go ahead and release that. So releasing and removing naive for Nancy Dilbert. Okay, so releasing. All right, so Nancy, that did release. All right, so Carolina, got a few things here, so let's see what's going to be best for you. And then we'll do the next healing pulse. And we'll also do aura strengthening, and then we'll see if anyone wants to do anything else. So we're going to do, for Carolina, the something general that's going to help her best overall. So let's see what that is. Oh, we could do the good luck button. That's sort of a fun one. Although most of you guys that have been here a while, you're doing pretty good keeping you the way you should be. Okay, so Nancy's commenting because her energy was naive. And so I think part of it is you have still, you kept the energy of being naive. So that's good. We released that. All right, so Carolina, I'm getting the energy of being demeaned. Let me get you an age. So I'm getting this is around 23, so somewhere 22, 23, 24. And so usually this is something that you feel. So with this, you think, did something happen with family, friends, coworkers where you just felt targeted, possibly teased, really put down? Let's go ahead and release demeaned from Carolina. Okay, so that did release. So let's do the third healing pulse. And so a lot of you, if you've got the physical things going on, like Nancy Dilbert, heal your sore head. So, place, if you can, place your hands on your head, or if you have a place that you want to send energy to, but you can't reach it, go ahead and, yes, we are doing our third healing pulse. So welcome, Ifatha. And so with the third healing pulse, so especially those of you who have physical things going on, that's where you want to send them. But there's some of you that, well, quite a few of you have written about financial stability. So when you think about money, where does it live? Is it more of a mental thing, or do you feel the energy of it in your gut? So let's rub our hands together and place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. Just breathe that in. So imagine my hands are in yours, and you are allowing the energy to flow. So just breathe in that energy. With each breath in, I want you to imagine that the healing goes a little deeper. With each breath out, you are releasing what doesn't belong. Maybe it wasn't even yours, so just breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, so that was Healing Pulse number 3. Let me know how you did. I've had a few people come on in. So Infafa, if you want to put something in the comments, and Susan, you too. Otherwise, we will jump in and do good luck, bad luck button. Very cool, Nancy. I'm glad you like that. I'm hoping it helped your head. Good. So Valerie just wrote about warmth and lots of yawns. So yawns are a sign that you are receiving the healing energy. Maybe you don't even know it. But the yawn, what it does is it releases energy and creates space so that the healing has somewhere to go. So welcome, Nancy. Thank you, Carolina. All right, so Emphatha. Deborah's got warmth and easing. That's fabulous. Okay, so Emphatha. Fear and lack. Oh, that's not good. So let's see if we can do them together, or if it's stronger if we just choose one. So just a moment. We're going to focus on the lack mentality in Fatha. Let's see. Excuse me. So this is a pretty generic one, Fatha. It is just unhappy. But let me get you an age, and maybe you could link it up with a situation. I'm getting you were around 28, so somewhere 27, 28, 29, somewhere in there. You were very unhappy. So let's go ahead and release this. And so what I've asked a few times this evening is, if you're a healer, help me release it. If you're not a healer, picture that it's being done, or say a prayer that it's releasing. So releasing and removing unhappiness for Emphatha around age 28. Okay. Did release. So I'm going to do Susan next. If I missed anybody, please let me know. I try to be pretty careful, but I know last month I missed someone and I had hoped she would come back tonight. But all right, so Susan's got this dry eye, so that's a pain, especially if you're using castor oil. Well then, Emphatha, I'm glad we released it. So, all right, Susan, let's see. I'm getting there's a trapped emotion that's contributing. But as I've said when I talked about layers, there's probably a few things going on. Especially as you get older, it's usually not as simple as just releasing one thing. Okay, this one you've had a very long time, Susan. It's narrow-minded, and it's from around age 6, so like 5, 6, 7. So, and when you're that age, it's not yours. It's someone who was around you that affected you. And so you're carrying that energy. So I'm assuming this is most likely family. So let's go ahead and release this energy from you. And so with this, especially with you being familiar with your pendulum, spin that pendulum in a in a counterclockwise way. And that's a release. So we're going to release the energy of narrow-mindedness from when you're around 6. So honing in and releasing. Yep, pendulums are wonderful. A lot of people mainly think they're for divination, but they're wonderful for healing. When I teach Reiki, I add a little after mini class for people on how to use their pendulums with Reiki, or if they want to do it by themselves. But pendulums are fabulous. So I hope that helps, Susan. And thank you for everyone who has shown up tonight. It's been a nice night. And especially all of you who read Honey C. Golden's invite. I appreciate her and that you have come here. So, should we do good luck, bad luck button? I know we had at least one request. There's a few of you that's like your main reason for coming here. So if you would like to find out if your good luck button is on, yes, so put a 1 if you want me to check your good luck and bad luck button. Okay, so harmonious, serene. So the premise of this, and so this is not, I did not create this. Somebody else created it and showed it to me. And then of course I tweaked it. I don't even remember what the original was like. But so then I tweaked it, and so now I do it. Seems like I do it every month. But the premise is your good luck button needs to be on and your bad luck needs to be off. And so for me personally, when my good luck is on and my bad luck is on, something crappy happens to me, but it's not quite as bad as it could have been. And so then I usually tune in and ask, okay, is my Is my bad luck button on? Because the bad luck should be off. That's the big thing. Okay, I'm still writing everybody's down. Okay, and I'll add in a tarot too. I got both Nancy's. Okay, let's see who I got. And we'll just make sure that I didn't miss anybody. Okay, let's see. I have Harmonious, Serene, Empatha, Carolina, Colette, Deborah, Nancy Dilber, Amanda, N.A. Tarot, Nasty, excuse me, Nancy Ostender. It cuts off, so I've got Austin. So Nancy, you know which one you are. Valerie, Marina, and Carolina, I've got you twice. Okay. So we got good luck and bad luck. Okay, just make sure. So if I did not see your name and you want me to do good luck, bad luck, just put a 1 in the comments. All right, so let's see. So I'm going to do the good luck first. Oh, I got to add Mary. Okay, so with the good luck buttons, we're doing really good this month. Mary, your good luck button is off though, and I bet you noticed that it's off because you feel sort of unlucky. So let me just do the bad luck, and then we'll go and we'll get Mary's good luck flip back on. All right, so I'm checking the bad luck. So with this, the bad luck should be off. Okay, so the bad luck. Let me just double check my work here, okay? Okay, we've got everybody's bad luck is off except for N.A. Tarot. So we got to get those flipped. So Mary, your bad luck is off, which is how it should be. But your good luck is also off. So you're not getting really any luck whatsoever, which that's better than having bad luck. So we're going to flip Mary's good luck on. Okay. So just allow that. And then N.A. Tarot. So we're going to flip N.A. Tarot. Her bad luck, we're going to flip that off. Okay, so that's off. So you guys are doing really good with that, because part of it is in awareness. So I know I've got a client that every once in a while she calls me up and says, my bad luck's back on. Can you fix it? So we have a session, because a lot of times if you keep flipping on or off the opposite way it should be, usually there's trapped emotions that are causing it. And especially if you can't seem to keep it steady, like a steady good luck on or steady good luck or bad luck off, usually means there's something going on underlying. So that's something to think about. So let's do the aura strengthening. This is one of the most important things in the whole night, just because this is something that you could do on your own. It's important for you to get in the habit of working with your aura and really helping repel negativity, because I live in Minnesota. Horrible things have been happening and happening all over the world. So, but I don't watch the news, but it's filtered into me, and I'm, yeah, awful, just so awful. So, but let's see if we can buffer ourselves so that, especially when we're out and about, we don't have to feel the negativity as much as we would if we didn't have strong auras. So I want you to rub your hands together. So with this, if you feel you want to use the healing pulse energies, feel free. I do want you to get used to using your own energies though too. So, but part of it is having the confidence. And so if the healing pulse energies give you more confidence, feel free to use that energy. So rub your hands together and then place your hands. Usually I do it this way, where I'm beaming out to the edge of my aura. Imagine my aura to be stronger and thicker, more resilient. And some of you, when you do this, you'll feel your hands tingle, and that's the energy flowing. So also with your aura. So imagine you're in this big bubble. Think about something that is more you need more of. Some of us need abundance. Some of us need courage or joy. So imagine that as you are beaming out to the edge of your aura, you're filling up on the inside. So let's just imagine that something that you need is here in your bubble with you. And also on the shell of the aura, I like to add just a hint of reflectivity. So we don't want full-blown invisibility. But, usually I imagine little pieces of mirror. So there's something's being nasty and I'm like right there. Part of it gets reflected back onto them. And I sort of like that, because I shouldn't be the only one experiencing craziness. Should go back to the sender. Okay, so that's aura strengthening. So I did have a client who, she worked in a place that was very difficult with a bunch of catty women. And that little exercise was helpful for her. She usually sat in her car and did that before she went into the office. So if that helps you, that's a new tool for you. So I will be here next month, October 1st, although I did have a person reach out and say they couldn't be here tonight and asked if I would consider doing a second mini healing. And so if I do a second mini healing, when should I do it? It's like right now it's a Monday night, but Monday night's sort of a weird Monday night because it's a holiday Monday night. But I'm wondering if I do it. So, because I try and figure out when's the best night for people. So I've had pretty good luck on Sunday nights. I used to do it every Thursday night for like 3 years. Does anyone have a preference? Sunday. Yeah, I'm surprised how many people are available Sundays. A couple Sundays. Oh, and Fatha, you're meant to be here, so I'm so glad. Well, it'll probably be a Sunday just because my Mondays are a little crazy. So I don't always post things in a timely fashion, but when I do post, it's always on Facebook, it's always on YouTube, and then Honey C. Golden on their Telegram page often posts for me too. So, but you can always reach out. So, and if anyone needs a healing session, feel free to book a session on my website or sign up for a free consultation if you have questions about my healing. So, looks like most likely a Sunday in a few weeks. So, but thank you everyone for coming, and I really hoped it helped you. So, have a good night and a good Tuesday. Bye.